Okay, so today we're covering cover to uncover. What we're going over are different areas where you can discover either information or instructions to guide you to what you need to do, or information that you need to know about a particular transaction or task, etc. Okay, so let's dive in. Hop over to Pipeline. All right, so the first area that I want to cover, actually I'm going to start on the transactions list, because there is a wealth of information that you can gain here without even clicking through to the transactions. So I've got this list of transactions here. So here, for example, if I hover over the I will get more information about a particular transaction. So here I can see the list price, the sale price, when it was listed, etc. More than is already listed on this transactions list. So an easy hover to get more information there. Also, take a look at these tiny little people over here. If I hover over these little people, I can get more information, and even without hovering, I can identify how many agents are, generally how many agents are on the transaction. So I can see if there's a single agent on a transaction, it'll have one little person there. If there are two agents, it'll have two, and if there are three or more, I'll get the little three person icon. Okay, so I can get that general information just by looking at the icon, and then again I can hover to get more details about who the agents are. Okay. Also, if I hover over these, the completed ratio for any transaction, I can get more information about the tasks and recent notes. So you see, if I hover here, I can get a list of all the tasks that are completed along with their due dates, and then the recent notes at the bottom. Okay. And then also, and this is just generally site-wide, but notable here is that whenever I have any information that's cut off, for example, I've got a transaction over here where I can't see the full transaction name. If I hover over it, I'll be able to see the full information, okay? So anywhere where I've got information that's cut off, maybe I've got a long transaction name and it's getting cut off, I can hover over it to get the full information. Maybe my, my location over here is being cut off, right? I can hover to see the full information. So anywhere where you're seeing partial information, whether you've gotten a little ellipse or ... there or not, you can hover to get more information. And again, that's site-wide. Okay, so let's hop over to a transaction now and then look at a little more information that you can get from hovering. Just like the I that's on the transactions list, I can hover over docs to get more information about docs, including if it's reviewed, when it was reviewed, who uploaded it, its original file name, how long it is, if it's a PDF, how many pages, etc. Okay. Also, anytime you see a date in Pipeline, you can hover over it to get more information about the date. This just says April 18th when I'm looking at it in the list, but when I hover, I can see who uploaded it, what time, what date, etc. Okay. Also, a lot of times information that you'll get will not necessarily be about the particular item, like the doc or the transaction, but maybe instructions or information about a section. For example, you see these eyes up here. These will tell me who has visibility to the information that's in the section. So here, contacts are for reference only. These people do not have access to the transaction. Selling agents can see buy or sell, and public docs in this transaction, etc. So it gives you more information about what these people can see, what visibility these people have. Okay. And then the mother of them all on this transaction is tasks. You can see a ton of information about tasks by hovering over them. For example, let me show these completed tasks here. Even though they're completed and I can no longer see their due dates, if I hover over the task, it'll give me more information about the task, who checked it, when it was checked, etc. Okay. And same here. I can hover and see that it was agent checked by Agent Blue on June 19th, etc. Okay. So lots of information by hovering there. Also, if I've got, let me see if I've got a due date that's got a relative due date. Let me add a due date with that. That's relative here. So let me say 6 days from close date. So if I hover over this one right here that I just created, I can see not only the due date, but the due date rule that's associated with it. Okay, so it's due September 13th, which is 6 days after close. Okay. And again, just generally, when you're hovering, if you want to know more information about something and you're not sure whether there's information about it, if you hover, just hover and check and see. I also, before I leave the transaction, I wanted to mention when you're sending a note or email, there's a ton of really helpful instructional information on this form here. So in addition to obviously the tabs or the buttons giving you more information by hovering over them, again, that's throughout Pipeline, you've also got a lot of instructions about what each item does, right? So if I make this note private, it lets me know that it will make it private in notes and sent emails, and only admins and internal recipients will be able to view it there, right? Or the subject, here it'll let me know that the subject will automatically be added to the name of the transaction if I don't include that name of the transaction in this particular subject. So if I type the name of the transaction, it won't reappend it, but if I don't include the name of the transaction, it'll automatically append it. Hovering over this lets you know that this is the message tag icon. There's more information about message tags in this link here, which I definitely encourage you to take a look at because they are super powerful. Same for formatting. Formatting allows you, if you click here, you'll see that I've got different options for formatting my messages and making them look highly readable. Okay. And again, just hovering over the items down here will give you more information about what you can do, what you need to do. Okay. On your unassigned docs page and your reference page, very similar to the transactions page. You've got your you can hover over dates. You can, if there's anything that's shortened, you can hover over it to look at more information there, the full information. The same for unreviewed, by the way. Okay, unreviewed page looks very similar to that. Okay, you can hover, get more information. On your reference page, similar concepts. Again, you can hover to get more information. The main thing I wanted to go over here is that you can, when you've got a doc here, you can, again, see more dates and who did it, etc. Full names, etc., instead of just the first names. Okay, and then I wanted to jump over to admin because here's where you get a lot of your hover involves instructions, exactly what the items do, right? So if I were to check this, it lets me know over on the right that automatically email agents whenever an admin comments on documents visible to them, right? So it gives you full details about each item so that you're clear what's going to happen if you check a particular item, okay? And that's for all the fields here, right? They'll just really guide you through what you need to do. Likewise, when you're on Manage Users, really helpful that each of the fields has that same hover help, right? Especially on the permissions, which are so important, right? So you hover over any permission, it'll let you know exactly what permission it gives for that location. Okay, so super helpful there, all right? And then for those of you who have the commission module, you're probably very well with how those hovers can help you. Let me hop over to a transaction that's got a CDA already associated, and I'm going to update or manage those commissions there. And you'll see whenever I am in a field that's related to an agent, I'll get hover over on the right that gives me more details about that agent. And this one, here's one that's got some previous transactions, right? And so I can get year-to-date figures. If there are any notes associated with this particular agent, I'll see them down here, which can be really helpful when I am creating their commissions check. It could give me let me know their splits, which is also supported here. So just a really helpful hover information throughout the generation of the CDA as I go through and manage the deductions and any referral fees, etc. Okay, and that's it. That's what I've got for hover today.